All right, man, we back. Motor City Sports Talk. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And let's talk a little bit about the Detroit Pistons. Had my eye on the Toronto Raptor game last night. And, Blake Griffin just doesn't seem, he don't seem right, man. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of things going on. I mean, Kyle Lowry went off. Siakam went off. I mean, Dre had a solid game. I mean, he did what he had to do. And that was his first game back since the avocado situation. But the Pistons need to shut Blake Griffin down. There's just no point of forcing him to go out there any less than Blake Griffin's 100% at this point in his career. Because the team is functioning better when Blake not out there. Now, the reason they functioning better when Blake not out there is, health aside, is because they comfortable with a natural ball handler in Derrick Rose. All right? Reggie Jackson is not a natural point guard. Reggie Jackson is a tweener. At this point in Derrick Rose's career, he more closer to a natural point guard than Reggie Jackson and Blake Griffin ever would be in their career. So now when the ball get to Blake's hands and Blake dribbling, like the ball don't flow. You know what I'm saying? Blake is grown leaps and bounds from being just the guy that can dunk and jump and rebound. Now he can handle the ball or whatever. But now that you got a true point guard there, or closer to true point guard than Derrick Rose, I won't call him a full true point guard, but he close. You might can say he is at this point in his career. Now Derrick Rose is not really used to, playing off the ball and letting Blake create for him. And Blake really don't know how to create. He can create at spots, but he shouldn't be your primarily ball handler. So what Dwane Casey going to do is when they get Blake Griffin healthy, and I get back on sending him out, he got to find a way to either stagger Blake and Derrick Rose minutes, or he got to find a way to call more sets for either or whoever chooses to be off the ball, especially when Reggie Jackson come back. They got to find ways to get dudes going with backdoor cuts, down screens, curls. He got to have more motion to his offense. They can't just have Derrick Rose top of the key, pick and roll, get to the bucket and score, or kick it out. They got to have more motion, man. And that's one thing I liked about Rip Hamilton, I liked about Ray Allen, and I liked about Reggie Jackson over their career. That's a lost art. Not just the mid-range shooting or the moving without the ball. Moving out the ball. Just being a great offensive player and not needing the ball in your hands, that's a lost art. A lot of guys need the ball in their hand. They one-dimensional. Well, you can catch and shoot. You can get off the backdoor cuts. You know how to get yourself open. That's a skill. And that's something that either Derrick Rose, Reggie Jackson, and Blake Griffin all going to figure out, or they got to stagger their minutes. And Dwane Casey offense just don't cut it for me. It's too much of a modern offense of ISO, 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 ISO. You know what I'm saying? But he got to get more motion going in this offense. That offense got to be creative, man. Backdoor cuts, down screens. You got to get Derrick Rose catching and shooting, and Blake catching and shooting. But Blake doing more harm than help. And that's what they got to figure out. He doing more harm than help because, one, you're not getting Blake at his best. When the ball, they running up and down the court, Blake, he can't run. Two, you can't properly integrate him into the offense because he ain't getting down the court and he not himself. He not efficient. The team is better when it's just Derrick Rose, Drummond, and the rest of the gang out there, excluding Reggie and Blake right now. So take advantage of that. And if, Derrick Rose get a little wore down and need some time off, use him up now. You know what I'm saying? This is a good time to use him up now, right? Then, by the time you use him up, hey, Blake Griffin should be healthy, rehab this leg, doing whatever he got to do. And he should be able to carry the load going to the end of the season, him and Dre. And by the time, Derrick Rose get a couple games off, you manage him a little bit, maybe a month and a half, he come back healthy, then you making a playoff stretch run with a healthy Derrick Rose, a healthy Drummond, and a healthy Blake Griffin. What they got to do is let this team thug it out right now. Let this team thug it out. You know what I'm saying? Let Blake be healthy. And I know it's hard to sit $38, $36, $40 million on the bench. but you're doing it for the long haul. All they doing is recreating the story they did last year. They trying to force it. It's a different situation. Last year, they used Blake Griffin up. They rolled him till they couldn't ride him no more. You know what I'm saying? And down the stretch, he wasn't healthy. This year, rest him. Just let him sit out. If he got to go to the G League at one point to kind of get some run and get him feel, so be it. If you're trying to make a playoff run, a stretch run, you never know what can happen. Joel Embiid ain't never healthy. Ben Simmons, you never know with him. In Boston, somebody can go down. So the East is better, but it ain't that thick. You know? But they doing this team a disservice. And once Blake do come back, Dwane Casey got to coach better offensively. Come on, man. You got to have somebody moving out the ball. Blake can't be watching Blake, Drummond, Jackson when he come back, Markeith, Luke Kennard, Bruce Brown. They can't be watching Derrick Rose. And Derrick Rose and going down can't be watching Blake Griffin. And when Reggie come back, going down, they can't be watching Reggie. You got to get some motion going there. You got to get some motion action. You got to get some backdoor cuts. Shit, pull up the old Bobby Knight offense. You got high school coaches that's still running that offense. You know what I'm saying? Get some down screens, some cuts going. Get some easy buckets. He got to find an offense that team can perfect. Because if you got a good offensive system, look at Popovich most years. He can take mundane ordinary players and make them look good. Obviously, he had great players, but you got to get some motion going, man. All that chuck it up threes and trying to get up there and trying to emulate Mike D'Antoni with the league going to. You gotta make an offense where. You gotta make an offense where. How can I say this? You have to make an offense where it's designed to beat what today's offense is. That's what you got to make an offense about. You got to make an offense designed to beat what the NBA trend is today. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not paid to tell him what that is. If he would like to pay me, my PayPal and Cash App is in there. You know what I'm saying? You have to build a team that's designed to beat the trend. Don't join the trend. That's one thing I didn't like about Dwane Casey when he came to Detroit. He said he wanted to modernize the Detroit Pistons offense so it can be, you know, what today's offense is, and that's Drummond attempting to chuck up a three every now and again, and that's shooting more three-pointers. No, you have to build a team. You have to build a team to beat what the trend is today. And whatever that is, you know what? I don't need to elaborate on it. But right now, you know, Blake ain't cutting it. Let Blake get healthy. Let him sit out a couple months and get that knee together. I understand it's hard to put $40 million on the bench. You know, but think of the bigger scheme. Derrick Rose hot right now. And Derrick Rose had, you know, he balled out the last 2 games. But as soon as Blake come back full time, his numbers fall off. Right now, I'm not saying that's just Blake health fault. But what I am saying is Dwane Casey coaching, he not doing enough to integrate Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose, and even when Reggie come back into the offense. Andre gonna get his because he can't post up. He don't have no offensive game. Andre is a putback guy, a roller that's gonna catch an alley-oop, and he a rebounder. So you got to worry about him. The Kennards, you know, you gonna have to deem him a spot-up shooter. Seems like him and Derrick Rose play well, like they got good camaraderie together. But for Blake, he is going to have to figure out either Derrick Rose got the motion off the ball, or Blake gonna have to get into motion and do some things to make himself more available and get some easy buckets. But you know, at the end of the day, Dwane Casey got to figure out, because right now he ain't doing the greatest coaching job offensively. You know what I'm saying? Defensively, I mean, defense is effort and also communication. Those are 2 things about defense. It's communication and effort, man. And right now, that's just in camaraderie. That comes with time. But like I said before, man, he got to do a better coaching job, man. And until he do a better offensive coaching job, or until he get a Blake Griffin healthy and a Reggie Jackson healthy, they need to shut that man down. And then while he being shut down, they need to figure out some things schematically. How you gonna make his ball handlers more comfortable with the ball and without the ball in their hands and run better sets. But I ain't bashing Dwane Casey, but he got to do a better job, bro. Offensively. Defensively, I just don't be paying them no attention. But I got to pay more attention defensively. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation? That link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. Y'all know what the business is. One time for the one time. Motor City Sports Talk. We gone.